ìran Yorùbá ò ẹ fúnra. Ìran Yorùbá ò ẹ fúnra. Báńṣà ò fúnra, ó já síná. Àjà ò fúnra, ó ajá jẹ́. Onílé tí kò bá fúnra, olè ní oko. Ṣé bí òwe àwọn bàbá wa náà ni o? Ìran Yorùbá ò ẹ fúnra. Ìran Yorùbá o, ìran mi, ìran tó dára nínú àṣà tiwa. Ká tètè jí gìrì lójú oorun tá ń sùn. Kómi má bà tẹ̀yìn wọ̀gbìn wà lẹ́nu. Ìran Yorùbá o ẹ fúnra. Ó bá jẹ́ pé ló ń jà wá tàbí àṣàsí tàbí ègún kan, Olúwa gbà wá o. Ṣàánú fún wa àwa ìran Yorùbá. Olúwa a bẹ̀ ọ́ o jàre. Ìran Yorùbá bí àgbàgbọ́ bá ò gbàgbọ́ a ò ní ṣọ̀kan. Ẹnu wa kò kórì, ó rú mi lójú. Ènìyàn tó bá ti wà lókè nínú wa kò ní fẹ́ kọ́mọ Yorùbá mìíràn kó gòkè. Àwọn tí kò sì tí gòkè nínú wa, ọ̀nà láti já ẹni tó wà lókè lulẹ̀. Eré burúkú yẹn ni Yorùbá máa sá. Ohun tí mò ń sọ yẹn ẹ̀yin ìran mi. Àwọn tírú ogun yìí ti jà ló lè sọ. Títí délùú onílùú ò làwa Yorùbá láti ń ṣàkóbá ńlá fún ara wa. Ẹ̀bẹ̀ ni mo bẹ̀ wá ẹ̀yin ìran mi. Yorùbá ronú. Bí ẹ̀yà mìíràn bá fẹ́ fogun jà Yorùbá, wọ́n má yà wá lẹ́nu. Yorùbá ara wa náà ni wọ́n máa rán sí. Bí wọ́n bá ti rówó, wọn ò ní bojú wẹ̀yìn. Wọ́n tilẹ̀ jíṣẹ́ yẹn ju bí a ṣe rán wọn lọ. Ṣé a kò gbàgbé ikú Àbáṣà tó gbọ́mọ Yorùbá kan tó jẹ́ obìnrin tí wọ́n fi bàbá lágbègbè kan nílùú Èkó? Ikú obìnrin èyí dùn gbogbo ènìyàn. Ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí àṣírí ọ̀ràn fojú hàn, ènìyàn tó ṣàgbọ́dẹ̀gbà tí wọ́n fi rí pa. Yorùbá kúkú náà ní gbogbo wa la mọ̀. Àìlóhùn ká bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ká ò lè sọ. Òwe Yorùbá náà ló sọ di mímọ̀ wípé adìyẹ kì í jẹ ìfun ara wọn. Ṣùgbọ́n bó bá jẹ́ nípa tàwa Yorùbá, adìyẹ ara wa ti ń gbéra mi. Ìran mi Yorùbá o, ẹ̀yà tó dára. Kí a má ṣe gbàgbé orin bàbá àgbà, bàbá Ògúndé, tó fi ṣe kìlọ̀ fún ìran Yorùbá. Yorùbá ronú o. Ẹ̀yà Yorùbá ẹ tún wogun ńlá mìíràn tó ń bá wa jà. Ogun Haúsá kọ́ ò kì í ṣogun Ìgbò. Ogun àwa fúnra wa òun lé èrè. Kí ló ṣèdè wa ta sọ́dọ̀hún ìríra tí kò yẹ láti gbọ́ láàrin ènìyàn gidi? Ọba Yorùbá mìíràn bó fẹ́ bá ìlú sọ̀rọ̀, èdè òyìnbó lọ́ba ìlú a máa sọ. A ó ti ṣèyí sí ìran Yorùbá. Fún àpẹẹrẹ, bí ènìyàn mẹ́ta má bá ní àáwọ̀ ara mi láàrin ara wọn. Haúsá kan Yorùbá kan pẹ̀lú Ìgbò kan. Bó bá ti jẹ́ Haúsá, ọlọ́pàá ni wọ́n bá. Haúsá ló kàn tí wọ́n á dàbólẹ̀. Bó bá sì tún wá lọ jẹ́ ọlọ́pàá Ìgbò, lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ èdè tí wọ́n náà máa sọ ṣùgbọ́n jẹ́ kí ọ̀rọ̀ torí ọmọ Yorùbá òyìnbó òfò ni wọ́n máa dábòlẹ̀ ẹni tó kọlà gangan kò ní sọ Yorùbá kàkà kó sọ Yorùbá pidgin ládàbòlẹ̀ ìran Yorùbá mo ní àkókò ti tó yéyéyé Yorùbá ẹ jí o. Ẹ̀yin ìran mi ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbàárò láti bí yìí lọ báwùsá bímọ tiwọn sílẹ̀ Yorùbá mo ló di dandan kó gbédè bàbá rẹ̀ bí Ìgbò bá bí tirẹ̀ sílẹ̀ Yorùbá mo ló di dandan kó gbédè bàbá rẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ dorí akáyín àkàrà dégún ṣùgbọ́n Yorùbá gangan la sọ èdè wa èdè burúkú tí kò yẹ ká sọ láàrin ènìyàn yìí ọ̀rọ̀ burúkú òpònú kan fẹ́rẹ̀ lu ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ̀ pa ó lóun sọ Yorùbá sáwọn ọmọ òun gangan fúnra rẹ̀ Yorùbá sì ni mo ní kí ló dé tá fi wá sọ èdè wa èdè ìríra o ìran Yorùbá yóò Yorùbá ronú o. Bí mo bá parọ́ mo ní kí ẹ já mi 90% ọmọ Yorùbá ni kò lè ka èdè Yorùbá lọ́nà táfi nítumọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ sì tún ni ọ̀pọ̀ ilé Yorùbá ò ní àkókò yìí èdè Yorùbá sísọ ti di ìtàn níbẹ̀ inú wa sì ń dùn àmọ́ pé ọ̀ràn ni 50 ọdún sí àkókò táwa yìí tí Jésù Olúwa kò bá tí ì dé o tẹ́yìn àgbà kò bá tètè wá nǹkan ṣe sí èdè Yorùbá àwọn díẹ̀ ló máa gbọ́ bí gbogbo wa bá sì kọ̀ tá ò sọ èdè yìí mọ́ wọn ò lè torí ẹ̀pẹ̀ wá lọ́mọ Amẹ́ríkà ìran Yorùbá ẹgbọ́n lẹ́nu mi Yorùbá ronú o. Ìran Yorùbá ṣebí lọ́jọ́sí là ń kọ́ lórin wípé iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ níṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ wa bí eré bí àwàdà ó ti ń dìtàn káwa ti fi ìṣáná òkìyè sóògùn báwùsá kò bá kàtà wá a ò lè jata a ò lè jẹṣu báwùsá kò bá kó wá a ò lè jẹwa báwùsá kò bá kó wá a ò lè jẹran báwùsá kò bá kó wá àlùbọ́sà ń kọ́ o pẹ̀lú kùkúmbà ṣèbáwọn Haúsá náà ni wọ́n ń kó wá ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn èso ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ wọn ni potato nǹkan ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ wọn ni tó bá dìgbà àwẹ̀ wọn kẹwàá wẹ̀ sí wa gbogbo oúnjẹ pátá ìlọ́po 3 ló máa gbówó lérí bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni a sì nílẹ̀ tó ṣe é dáko ìran Yorùbá ẹ dákun kẹ́ jígìrì o yóò gbogbo wa pátá ni mo fẹ́ ká ní.
hello ẹ káàbọ̀ sí orí òtè yìí mo máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú Yorùbá initially then àwa switch sí èdè òyìnbó bọ̀ ẹ káàbọ̀ sí orí òtò orúkọ tèmi ni Tèmítọ́pẹ́ ọmọ tá à ń wá ọmọ tí à ń wá ọmọ ìlú Ọdẹ Òmu ẹ ṣé gan ni tí ẹ máa join wákàtí ọ̀wọ̀ tẹ́ bá ń wo program yìí ní wákàtí ọ̀wọ̀ mo fẹ́ kẹ́ like page mo fẹ́ kẹ́ share ẹ̀ mo fẹ́ kí ẹni tó wà nílé kó sọ fún ẹni tó wà lóko pé we are going live but kí a tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó ní nǹkan kan tí mo fẹ́ fi hàn yín ìyẹn ni Nigerian passport mi tó wà ń bí tí mo ní máa sọ síná. Kí ni reason tí mo fẹ́ fi sọ síná gan-an? Ìyẹn ni nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ béèrè. Kí ni reason tí mo fẹ́ fi sọ Nigerian passport tí mo ní máa finá sí i? Tí mo sọ pé tí nǹkan tí mò ń sọ yìí tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ sẹ́ẹ̀, mo máa finá sí passport yìí. Ìyẹn ni nǹkan tí a fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ rè ní òní, pé kí ni reason tí Tèmítọ́pẹ́ Olódò sọ pé òun ò finá sí Nigerian passport òun. Question tí àwọn èèyàn ti ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ mi láti àárọ̀ nìyẹn, gbogbo fóònù mi ló ti kún láti ìgbà tí mo ní mo fẹ́ sọná sí Nigerian passport. Wọ́n ní kí ló dé, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ tó ló fẹ́ sọná sí Nàìjíríà. Mo ní ẹ wá gbọ́ nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ. So tí ẹ bá ń gbọ́ mi wákàtí ọ̀wọ́, mo fẹ́ kí ẹ bá mi tún ní sí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. A dẹ̀ máa sọ ní èdè òyìnbó, a máa sọ ní èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì. Thank you so much. Welcome to the program. I posted that I was going to put my set fire on my Nigerian passport. And I know many of you have been asking, why do you want to set fire on your Nigerian passport? Now, if you tune in, you will get a response to that answer. So keep tuning in, keep listening. What I need you to do right now, I want you to like this page. I want you to share this page. I want you to tell your friends that Tèmítọ́pẹ́ Olódò is live, and I'll be speaking on this important issue, which is Nigerian election 2023, because there's a video out there, and that video more or less is talking about something that is quite important to me and to a lot of Nigerians, and I want people to calm down, because it's a politics of numbers. Politics is local. We know politics is local, but when people are flexing muscle now, 2 years to the election, the Nigerian election, it is important that we put things in perspective. And there's a lot of fake news out there. And I'm here to challenge that fake news, because I felt there is need to challenge that fake news. And if it is not fake news, but a ploy to actually rig the Nigerian election, then I am willing to be number one to set my Nigerian passport on fire. That's the reason why I've actually brought the live Nigerian passport, and I'm going to set it on fire. I'm going to tell you the parameters that will make me set my Nigerian passport on fire, and I want you to tell me if my parameters are right or wrong, and then we take it from there. But before I set my Nigerian passport on fire, I need you to do me a favor. I want you to like this page. I want you to share this page. I want you to tell your friends that I'm live. I'll be telling you the parameters upon which I am making this discussion. Upon which grounds am I actually talking? What qualifications do I have to talk about Nigerian elections? Okay, for those that might not know my history, my qualifications and skills, apart from having a degree in law, an LLB degree in law for Thames Valley University, which is now called London University of West London. It's called University of West London now, but it was called Thames Valley University. That's a long time. It's a long time. My first degree was actually in political science. So I am a student of politics. So when you are talking about Nigerian election, I can talk about it conveniently. Now, I got my degree over 25 years ago. So I'm not just a graduate of 2 months or 4 months or 5 months. I'm an old man. I'm quite old. So if you're watching this page right now, I want you to like this page. I want you to share. We're going to have a serious discussion. It's a serious discussion because it is important to put perspective into the video that you are about to watch. I'm one of those guys that do not believe in fake news. I do not believe in rumors. I studied law, so I believe in evidence. So when people, bring out fake news, it is just left to me to come out there and actually debunk that story, because there's a lot of things that have happened over years. And Nigerian election have always been bloody. In fact, one of the last elections that was held, a lot of people died. People continue to die. At least more than 400-500 people have died in Nigerian elections since 1999. And the election of 2023 is a very, very crucial election that could lead to a lot of bloodshed if things are not put in perspective. And that is why I'm saying I will burn this Nigerian passport if there is a rigging of Nigeria election. And if what this gentleman that I'm about to play his video, if what he says come to pass, I will burn this passport. And I'm telling you the reason why I'll burn the passport. I'll tell you soon. But before I say that, let me play the video that have gone viral. And I want you to listen to every word of it. And I'm going to bring out some of the statements that this gentleman had made. And I'm going to debunk those statements. And that's the reason why I need you to share this page. I want you to like this page. I want you to tell your friends that Temitope Olodo, preventive terrorism consultant, author, and president of African Security Forum, and a political scientist of over 20 years now standing. So I've been involved in Nigerian politics. I've been talking about Nigerian politics for quite a long time. So I know it, even though I try to avoid talking about politics. I always like to talk about security. I try to avoid talking about politics because there's so many people out there that do not have a clue of what they're talking about. I studied politics, so I know what I'm talking about. So I think I'm in a position to talk about this and correct some of the notion out there about the election. And I would like you to share this page, like this page, and I've been told not to burn the passport. Yeah, I've been told not to burn the passport. Wait, I will tell you, my brother, why I want to burn the passport. I will definitely tell you why I want to burn the passport. But what I want you to do is tell me where you're watching from. Please like this page, share this page. But let me play that video because this video is quite important to the reason why I said I want to burn this passport. I want you to listen to this video because it's quite important, because there's a lot of narrative out there, and these are the kind of, what I say, misguided utterances that actually lead to violence extremism. Because this is my field, this is what I do for a living. And when people make this kind of gullible conversation, or when people say things like that, yeah, it might be a criminal offense, but you know what? I don't care. At this point, I got to the point where I'm going to burn it if there is. I'm going to burn it if there is a rigging of Nigeria election, because we need to start taking drastic action. Even the Bible says only the violent, taken it by force. I'm willing to, for Nigerians, when you close your eyes and you think of 90 million Nigerians in extreme poverty, it should not happen if we have good leaders, if we are electing good people into post. People should not be going to sleep hungry in Nigeria. The population of the whole United Kingdom is 70 million. Now close your eyes and imagine yourself in the United Kingdom, and it's night time, and the whole United Kingdom is in darkness, and not a single person have eaten as they're going to bed. The whole country will erupt. Now, that number exists currently in Nigeria that are in extreme poverty, and we should not allow that. It should not be happening. So I'm going to play this video because I don't want to waste your time. I want you to watch this video, please. And I want you to like this page. If you're watching right now, please like this page, share this page, tell your friends that I, Temitope Olodo, I'm live talking about, the politics. I'll be talking about the politics of number. And I want you to watch this video and
will present a candidate that will balance our 4 years before we go into rotation. But we are not asking. Will present a candidate that will balance our 4 years before we go into rotation. But we are not asking for, like you call it, third time. No, we are not asking for third time. Nobody asks for third time. We will never ask for third time. We are democratic. We believe in democracy, and we are practicing democracy. That was why we said politics is a game of number, and we know we have the numbers. We are 120 million population from the north. Then the Fulanis have 40 million in population, and if you put that together, that will give you 160 million. And you can, out of the approximately 210 million as in being envisaged, the population of Nigeria, when you take 160 million out of 210 million, what is the balance? About 70 million. I cannot see how 160 million I can't see how 70 million will beat 160 million. So we are ready for it. We believe in democracy. We are democratic in nature. We know politics is a game of number. We know politics, leadership is by ballot box. Leadership is by PVC. Leadership is by election. And that was why we are calling our people to come out en masse and get their PVCs. The 120 million Northerners should get their PVC. The 40 million Fulanis should get their PVC. Put together 160 million. We will elect another president by 29th of May. By February next 2023, we should be going into election to elect a fresh northern president that will balance the remaining 4 years that North has.
The Northern Consensus Movement has called on all 120 million Northerners and 40 million Fulanis that are eligible voters to ensure they mobilize towards 2023 general election and jettison undemocratic leadership rotations in Nigeria. The group Northern Consensus Movement therefore stated that there is no amount of grandstanding propelled by the threat and intimidations either from the southern governors and some socio-cultural organizations that can change the remaining outstanding balance of 4 years presidency tenure for the North.
Southern Nigeria took the mantle of leadership for 14 years. By the time President Muhammadu Buhari will be finishing his 8 years, 2 term of 8 years, North would have served for 10 years, Southern Nigeria would have served for 14 years. If we are talking of equity, fairness, balance, and togetherness, then Northern Nigeria still have 4 more years to go before it will now be equal of 14 years. But nobody can twist us from the north, or intimidate us, or harass us, or coerce us to think that by grandstanding or intimidation we will abandon our 4 years just because some people are threatening the peaceful coexistence of Nigeria. Northern Nigeria has a population of over 120 million people. And by this press conference, we are asking all the 120 million eligible voters from the north to come out en masse and get their PVC, and also begin an aggressive but peaceful mobilization of our people to get ready for 2023 general election.
You've heard the gentleman, and I'm going to summarize what he has said and then take it step by step to start debunking his assertions. Because many people have watched this video and say, we're in trouble now. It's going to, oh God, they were supposed to be a gentleman's agreement and whatever. And now they want to do another 4 years. Please calm down. Let's do it the way it should be done. Calm down. There's nothing like that. Everything he talked about is complete fake news. And I'm going to break it down for you. It is complete fake news. So if you're watching me right now, this is what I want you to do. I want you to like this page. I want you to share this page. I want you to tell your friends that I'm live discussing this issue. And I'm going to take it. He said they are not going for third term. There is nowhere in the Nigerian constitution where there is a third term. And President Buhari has already said he has no intention of going for third term. So forget that. There is no issue of third term. So all those ones are just grandstanding. I'm twisting you. All we're saying is for equity, it should be rotated so that every Nigerian could have a share. And it's a gentleman's agreement that politicians have entered into in Nigeria. But then he has made some serious assertions that he has a population of 160 million people, which is 130 million in the north, plus another 40 million Fulanis, making it 160. And then you add the 70 million from the south, making it 230 million. That's what he's saying. Now, I think this man is deluded because he has no clue what he's talking about. In the first place, population, the country's population is different from the number of people that can vote. And this is why Nigerians and educated Nigerians need to be calling out this kind of thing. When you are a pressman and you are called to this kind of thing, you should have just pick your bag right there and say, this guy is an educated illiterate who is just talking rubbish, because he has no clue that there's a big difference between population and registered voters. Never in Nigeria history had there been a registration of even up to 90 million, which is, let's say, even 49% of the Nigerian population. Nigeria has never registered 50% of its population to vote at any given time. Quote me, quote Temitope Olodo, it has never happened. Now, what I want you to do right now is to like this page, share this page right now, because I'm going to be talking serious facts here. I'm not going to be making up figures. I want this video to go viral. I want people to watch it. And when people start complaining, oh, the North, this is nothing to do with the North. This is to do with selfish individuals calling themselves a coalition, a consensus group, coming out to talk rubbish and to bamboozle fake politicians who are also maybe sponsoring them and to get some money into their pockets. That's it. That is it. Do you know that it is even an offense, even in Nigerian election rule, for any association that is not registered as a political party to gather money for a candidate? So you see, and that's the reason why INEC need to start doing what they are constitutionally empowered to do, to start stopping this thing and putting out materials out there so people could know their right. I'm talking as a political scientist that know these things and know what I'm talking about. So he talked about the fact that there are 120 million Northerners who can vote. That is a no. There have never been 120 million Northerners that can vote. That is fake news. Quote me anywhere. There have never been even 90 million, not even 70 million Northerners that have been eligible to vote. Combine both the Fulani votes, and I'm not talking of foreign Fulanis now that have invaded our land, which we are going to kick out. We are going to kick them out because no foreign Fulani is going to be allowed to vote in Nigeria. They should not be allowed. And whenever they are picked up, if anybody walks in from Niger, whether the president has first cousins in Niger or not is immaterial. If the first cousins of the president who are from Niger walk into Nigeria and try to get a PVC, they should be arrested because they are not Nigerians. Quote me anywhere. In the first cousins of Mr. President, President Muhammad Buhari enters Nigeria, the president will have to go and bail them out because they are committing a criminal offense to register as a foreigner in Nigeria. So I want you to like this page. I want you to share this page. And I'm saying this because it is because of this kind of idiotic statements that are making separatist groups to stand up or erupt everywhere, like the ones that are in South. Is it the Akwa Ibom or whatever they call it? The Akwa Ibom ones that say they're also going to create their own state, like the Yoruba nation, like the Biafras. You are giving them, foiling them, because when somebody comes up and say, "Oh, forget about it, whether there's a good candidate from the south or not, we are still going to have the next election, the next person, next president from the north." When you start saying things like that, you're saying it's a politics of numbers. You are automatically making people believe that when they hold their PVC, it will not count. And the fact is that what you are pushing out there is fake news. And that is why I'm coming with a counter narrative to explain that what you are saying is false. And if peradventure you are able to get. Now, listen very carefully. If you are able to get 160 million votes from the north, and they count the votes come February 2023, and it says 160 million, I will burn this Nigerian passport. So you can quote me on that because it's recorded now. If you have 160 million votes come 2023, February 2023, and they count the vote, and the whoever is you have put there to represent the north has 120 million votes, 160 million votes, I will burn this passport. This Nigerian passport, I'll burn it. That is the reason upon which I will burn this Nigerian passport. So, my brother that said I should not burn the passport, you could see the parameters that I have set. If whoever they bring up has 160 million votes from the north, I will burn this Nigerian passport. So you can quote me anywhere that I said I will burn it, because I know it can never happen. It can never happen. If you're watching this page right now, I want you to like this page. I want you to share this page. I want you to tell me where you're watching from. And I really enjoy it. I can see people watching from New York. I can see people watching from South Africa. We are live simultaneously on Facebook. We are live simultaneously on LinkedIn. We are live on YouTube, and we are live on Twitter. So if you're watching me right now, you can watch me on any of those platforms. And if you want to watch, if you're on Twitter right now, www.youtube.com/Temitope Olodo, put it there and you can watch me live. Now, he said they have 120 million in the north and 40 million Fulanis, making it 160 million that will vote. Now, I want to debunk it using statistics, because, as I said, I'm a student of politics. And as a student of politics, I only talk about the politics of numbers. And that is what I'm here to talk about, the politics of numbers. Now, let me explain before going into the numbers that prior to the last election that was held in Nigeria, there were less than 120,000 polling units in the whole of Nigeria that was used for the election. 120,000 polling units. And those polling units had a maximum, not even up to 84 million plus registered voters. I said registered voters, not people that voted, registered voters. So please, it's important. Get your pen, get your pencil, get your paper, and start writing it down. Because when people come up and say, oh, we're going to come up with 160 million voters, I don't know, except you are going to go and bring all the Fulanis from across Africa to come and vote in Nigeria. Even with that, you cannot get 160 million, with all due respect, and there's no way you can inflate the registered voters from 84 million to 230 million. It's impossible. Now, even INEC cannot handle it. So I don't know where you want to get those votes from. And I don't know what polling unit you want to use. That's the reason why I'm talking about the politics of number. So if you're watching me right now, I am talking intelligently right now. I'm talking as a student of politics of over 20 years. So I'm not talking gibberish. I'm talking facts now, not fake news. Now, the last election that was held in 2019, there were 119,974 polling booths. That was the number of polling booths that existed during the last election that brought in President Muhammad Buhari, GCFR. Yeah. So, however, of recent, some few weeks ago, the polling booths, an additional 56,000 872 polling booths was added by INEC to create a total of 176,974 polling booth stations. So, and that is under a premise that even if the number of it will be impossible now for them to say they want to increase it, and even if they want to increase it, it will be impossible for them to increase it to such a level that will be able to accommodate 230 million registered voters, even voters, no, registered voters, not to talk of people voting. Never in the Nigerian history has 60% of the people that are registered voter ever gone to the polling booth to vote. Never. So when this comedian called a press conference, I was talking about 160 million. He was talking fake news. Simple and short. He was talking fake news. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to like this page. I want you to share this page. I want you to tell your friends that I'm live. I want you to call people and let them listen, because I'm coming out with numbers now. Now, let me now explain, because it's important to explain that this new current polling unit came into being since 1996. That was 3 years even after I graduated as a student of politics. So when you come to political history, I am an authority in it. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I'm a student of Zim and Zems, as my professor used to say, Professor Okolo in Usmanu Dafodio University. So check out my record. I graduated with a BSc in political science. So I'm not talking rubbish here. I'm talking facts. Now, when you're talking about polling units, 56,872 were added, and 749 polling booths that were deemed inappropriate were removed. These were the polling booths that were normally used, majority used, frequently used to rig election. And you ask me why? Because 232 of those polling booths that were removed were in private properties. And that is why you heard story about people voting in politicians' house. In Nigeria, it happened. People voting in mosque. People voting in all kind of places that were irregular places to vote. But INEC had done the right thing to remove and scrap all those and created 56,872 new polling booths, because between 500 and 750 voters normally are expected to be in one polling unit. So when this joker was talking about 160 million people voting, I am imagining, is he going to have 1 million votes in one polling unit? Because I can't understand how he's going to squeeze it in. And that's the reason why I said this guy is a joker. And I want people that are listening right now, people that are watching right now, to share this page, like this page, and let people know that I'm live talking about it. Again, if you are just watching me or just tuning in and you don't know what I'm talking about, I am more or less literally talking about the politics of numbers. And I'm talking about a joker who said he belongs to the Northern Collusion or Consensus Group, or whatever group he calls himself, and that they are going to produce 160 million voters in order to produce the next president who will come from the north. Listen to him for 2 seconds, for 1 minute.
Will present a candidate that will balance our 4 years before we go into rotation. But we are not asking for like you call it, third time. No, we are not asking for third time. Nobody asks for third time. We will never ask for third time. We are democratic. We believe in democracy, and we are practicing democracy. That was why we said politics is a game of number, and we know we have the numbers. We are 120 million population from the north. Then the Fulanis have 40 million in population, and if you put that together, that will give you 160 million. And
160 million. And his calculation is that all the 160 million will vote. Out of that 160 million, let me bust his bubble, because we're talking facts now. Out of that 160 million, can you tell me how many Nigerians die every day? Because it seems to remove that. And how many Nigerians are born? Is he going to fingerprint? Do they think they are going to do that rubbish that they did, that they will bring underage voters to be voting? Is that what he's counting on, or cows voting? Is that what he's banking on, that even cows will vote? This election of 2023 will not allow, nothing like that nonsense will happen, because every Nigerian will be armed with their phone. And that's why all those rubbish that they were doing at the House of Representatives and Senate, House of Senate, where they are saying, oh, transmitting, not transmitting, taking pictures of vote in order to be able to rig elections. Nigerians are not going to allow this election 2023 to happen. And if anybody comes up with that rubbish that 160 million people voted in February 2023, I will burn this passport. I will burn it, because I know that it is impossible. I love my Nigerian passport, actually. I love it. I'm not going to burn it. But I'll tell you how serious I am. If this joker is able to achieve the 140 million votes that he said, I will burn this Nigerian passport. But I know he's a joker, because I can tell you confidently that all those figures that he's relying on does not exist, because there are certain people that are too old to even walk to the polling booth. There are population between 0 and 70 and a half that will never be able to vote because they're not eligible to vote. And all those Alumajiris, if he's relying on those number of Alumajiris to vote, he is a joker. Boko Haram, Aswap are still killing in hundreds in the north. In fact, certain places will not be able to the polling booths will not be functional in certain places because of the activities of Boko Haram. So how will he now calculate? Will they now tell us that voting is happening where voting is not happening in a place? That's why I said that guy is a joker. If he's able to get 160 million people to vote for 2023, I will burn this passport, because I know it's a joker and it's fake news. And if you're watching me right now, I want you to like this page, I want you to share this page, because I'm coming out with facts and figures right now. Now, with the new change of bringing in 56,872 polling booths, the total number of polling booths in Nigeria now is 176,974 polling booths across Nigeria, the local government. Remember that we don't even have 774 local government again. Because when you hear government talk about we have 774 local government, it is fake news. It is fake news, because some of those local government have been given to Cameroon. We might have 700 plus, but we do not have 774 local governments. And certain local governments in the Lake Chad are inaccessible. The governor of Niger State this year confirmed that Boko Haram have taken over a lot of their local government. So how will they be able to hold election in those local governments? Who is kidding who? With the changes and the creation of additional 56,872 local new polling booths, Lagos now has 4,861 new polling units, while Kano has 3,148 polling booths. Now, let's now pick some of the places that this man is relying on for his 150, for his 100 and what did he call him in Nini? 160 million voters. Now, let me now pick on some of those areas that is relying on. Some of those areas include Katsina, the state of the federal government, the state of the president of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, where bandits are running riots. That place now has a polling, have 1,750 polling units. But we know that all those polling units will not be able to hold election because some of those places have been ransacked by bandits. It includes Kaduna, where they have 2,910 polling units. And we know southern Kaduna have been ransacked by bandits who are going in and killing people continuously, almost on a daily basis. It includes Jigawa with 995 polling booths, Gombe 770, Borno 1,138, where we know that Borno is not even stable. Where there's a lot of places, this is the same Borno where Boko Haram inaugurated a new governor. They created their own governor. That is where this joker is saying that they are going to get 160 million. Yeah, include Bauchi 1,349 polling booths, Adamawa 1,495 polling booths, Zamfara, where there is a no flying zone. No flying zone. I'm not the one that said it, it's government. No flying zone with 1,013 polling booths. Most of them will not be operational because of the rate of banditry in that place and how they kill people. It includes Kebbi, where there are no going area. The majority of the places, some of the villages in Zuru, where I know Zuru very well. I know Kebbi, Kotogora. I used to go there to gyrate as a Kegai chief when I was on campus. Those places are no-go area. With 1,345 polling booths, most of them will not be operational. Kogi, the governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, came out to say Boko Haram is now operational in his state. They have 960 polling booths. Most of them will not be operational because of the activity of Boko Haram. Include Nasarawa, where the governor said Boko Haram has a base in Nasarawa, close in border with Abuja. Has 1,761 polling booths. I am giving you the polling booth and telling you the crisis in those states. This is how we, security experts, talk. We talk with facts. Facts. If you are watching me right now, please like this page, share this page. Let me know where you're watching from. I really, really want to know where you're watching from. Please share it. Let people know that I'm live. It includes Niger State, where the governor had come out to say that the state have been ransacked by Boko Haram and bandits are running riots. Some of the local government have been sacked. They have 1,765 polling booths. It includes Sokoto, a state where I lived for many years, where I went to a military school. They have 956 polling booths. Taraba, 1,695 polling booths. Yobe, 1,109 polling booths. What am I trying to explain here? I'm giving you those numbers in order for you to know that those numbers are already set in stones. So where this guy is getting his 160 million eludes me as a political scientist. Now you might say, Mr. Olodo, maybe you don't know what you are talking about, because this guy said that they have 120 million people that will vote who are from the north and 40 million who are Fulanis who will also vote. Okay, if that is the case, let me bring you back to statistics because statistics don't lie. Yeah. In 2019, that was 2 years ago, out of the 190 million Nigerians, the estimated population of Nigeria, which is 190 million as of 2019, only 84 million were registered voters. Now remember, there is a big difference between registered voters and actual voters. And that was a 25% increase from 2015. 84 million people were registered to vote. In 2015, there was only a 44% turnout to vote. Yeah? And it's important to highlight that only 24% of the registered voters reside in Northwest Nigeria, which is where the president comes from. And the president has consistently had a 12 million voting bloc, which he has always had. And that was why APC, relying on that, with the help of Tinubu's ingenuity, were able to get additional millions of votes for him to make him beat Atiku. But I will go into that. It's important to highlight that out of the 84 million registered voters, 51.1% of them are youth between the age of 18 to 35. These were the same youth that were burning the poster of President Muhammadu Buhari in Katsina. The same youth that were involved in the NSAS. The new age youth who this guy might be relying on, who are fed up with politics and who want change and want new breed, who want themselves also to govern. And this guy think he can bamboozle them or bamboozle us by talking about the politics of number. Now, let me now challenge him punch to punch. Because when you are doing boxing, you talk about punch to punch. They will say, this boxer, punch to punch, will beat this man. When Mike Tyson was there, they will say, punch to punch, you will bring this boxer down. I can bring these guys down if I round 2, because I know that the number that is calling out, the 160 million, is fake news. Because as of 8th of February 2019, we had a 200 million estimated population and only 84 million registered voters. Now, guess what? Out of that 84 million registered voters, only 49.8% came out to vote. That's the average turnout. In fact, let me put it out statistically, it was 49.78% that actually come out to vote. 60% did not come out. Or what did I say? 40% of the people that registered did not come out to vote. 40%, over 40% did not come out to vote. So when this joker is saying that he wants 160 million people to vote, he has no clue what he's talking about. Let me go further. Let me take it home. The presidential election of 2019, yeah, of the 82,334,107 registered voters, only 26,614,190 actually voted. So what have you got to say to that? So where this guy is coming up with these figures, that's why I want you to understand, and I'm talking figures, and I know some of you might be falling asleep at this point, but you need to understand the reason why I'm bringing this. And in case you are joining me right now and you do not understand why I'm bringing this one, please listen to this joker talking about what they're going to do.
Will present a candidate that will balance our 4 years before we go into rotation. But we are not asking for, like you call it, third time. No, we are not asking for third time. Nobody asks for third time. We will never ask for third time. We are democratic. We believe in democracy, and we are practicing democracy. That was why we said politics is a game of number, and we know we have the numbers. We are 120 million population from the north. Then the Fulanis have 40 million in population, and if you put that together, that will give you 160 million. And you can, out of the approximately 210 million as in being envisaged, the population of Nigeria, when you take 160 million out of 210 million, what is the balance? About 70 million. I cannot see how.
Even his mathematics is wrong. I think this guy needs to go back to school. I don't know who his teacher is. If you take 160 million and you supply 160 million and you subtract it from 210 million, it remains 50 million. Yeah. So please get your mathematics right. You don't have a clue what you are talking about. But let's forgive him. Let's say that the pressure of going is excited, is in front of the media, and the excitement is making him lose his brains, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. Let me help him with his calculation. In 2015, during the 2015 election, 67,422,005 people registered to vote. Of that 67 million, only 29,432,083 people actually voted. Did you hear me? Only 29 million people voted out of the 67 million that registered in 2015. Now, let me now break it down, because there is no politician in the north right now that has the followership, political followership like President Muhammad Buhari. None of them. And even in the on the 23rd February election of 2019, where 28,614,190 people voted, which was just a 33% turnout, President Muhammad Buhari was only able to have 11 million votes, while Atiku had 11 million votes. So where this guy is going to get 160 million votes for one candidate in the north eludes me. I am perplexed. Please, I don't know what to say. This guy is a joker. If you are watching me right now, I want you to like this page. I want you to share this page. I want you to tell your friends that I'm live talking about, the issue, the politics of numbers. I'm talking about the politics of number. My name is Temitope Olodo. I'm a preventive terrorism consultant, author, president of African Security Forum, CEO of Trans Custodium UK, and I'm a political scientist of over 20 years experience. Now, let me now go further so that we look at the pattern, because everything in politics is about pattern. So when they look at it, they say, okay, based on this pattern, this is the way they do it in civilized society, not like the one where they rig. They say, if this one had this number, this one had this number, this one had this one, then we can project that next year, or in 2023, this is what will happen. So I will give you 3 figures. I will give you figures of 2015. I'll give you 2019. On the 28th of March, 2015, yeah, only 29,432,083 people voted. And remember, that was the time where all of us came out to say, let's vote President Muhammad Buhari, because we believe in him, we believe in his vision of reviving our economy, his vision of what was it? Changing dealing belonging to nobody, being friends of everybody, belonging to nobody. It's politics of making sure that everything, there is no corruption and security is dealt with. So those two things, economy, security, and terrorism. You know, corruption. And yet, APC had 15 million and PDP had 12 million. So PDP went down by went down by just 1 million from 2019, 2015 to 2019. They lost 1 million votes. And that was a 42% voters turnout. So where this joker is talking about them being able to bring 160 million people to vote, I don't know. Maybe it's relying on the what do you call it, on the train that is going to go into Niger, so that they can export people from Niger, export people from Chad to come and vote. And even then, it will be impossible for it to happen. Let me tell you, because in the Bible they said 2 is an authority. In politics, 3 is a definite. On the 16th of April 2011, 39,469,484 people actually voted, which actually represented 52% of the voting population, or the people that voted, which is 52% voted. Out of that, Jonathan had 22 million and defeated Buhari by 12 million. Buhari defeated Buhari by 10 million votes, because Buhari had only 12 million. So Buhari consistently had at least 12 million votes. And as a political scientist, that is my political prophecy, that if a southern governor, a southern president is suggested, there is the likelihood, with the support of Southwest, with support of Southeast, with support of the Middle Belt, there's reasonable people in the North who are not jokers like this individual. Because we've seen people like El Rufai actually come out to say, yes, we are going to make sure that or he actually came out to say that yes, he's going to support the Southern president, because actually, to be honest, they agreed to that, and that should be the case. So he said it before, and I think we can at least hold him to his words on that. That you know, he would do the right thing, because we know that he's a man that always sticks by his words. But even then, if you look at the North as we speak, who is it that you want to bring out in the North? Because 3-4 of those people are all the state. So one of the governors who remain unnamed, is having so much crisis in the country, in the state, that if he wants to stand up, people will never vote for him, because they believe he leans to one religion. There's a governor is it the governor that was stocking dollars in his pocket, or is it some of these governors in the North? Most of them have baggages, apart from the one in Borno, who seems to be doing a lot of work. So when you look at it, you find out that based on the analysis and the information I've just given you, based on this information, if in April 2011, 39 million people actually voted. If in 2015, 29 million people voted, which represented 42% of the vote of the registered voters, and in April 2011 represented 52%, is actually going down, and in 2019 it was 49% of the vote, and yet only 84 million people registered, and out of that 84 million people that actually registered, the fact remains that the number of people that actually voted was not much, because the number of people that voted was only 28,614,190. So please, if you're watching me right now, I want you to like this page. I want you to share this page. I want you to let me know your views. And if you have a question for me, let me know. So let me play the video again for those that might just be tuning in to be able to understand exactly where we're coming from and why we're making these assertions that we're making.
Will present a candidate that will balance our 4 years before we go into rotation. But we are not asking for, like you call it, third time. No, we are not asking for third time. Nobody asks for third time. We will never ask for third time. We are democratic. We believe in democracy, and we are practicing democracy. That was why we said politics is a game of number, and we know we have the numbers. We are 120 million population from the north. Then the Fulanis have 40 million in population, and if you put that together, that will give you 160.
So again, he said he's talking about this 160 million, and he even got to say that the number of people in the south will be 70 million. When you subtract 160 million for 120 million, which should be 50 million, not 70 million. So he needs to go back to school. I think I will advise him to go and talk to his children who are in school that's if they are even going to school now, if the schools are not closed because of all the crisis in that part of the world where he is. So let me recap. There were 119,974 polling booths in Nigeria as of 2019. That have been increased by 56,872 new polling booths due to the rejig that was done by INEC, taking the total number to 176,974 polling booths. Now, out of those polling booths, out of the previous 119,794 were removed, which were inappropriate. Out of those, included those ones that were in where we had 232 polling booths that were in private properties, including places like mosques and all those things. And we know that there is roughly about between 500 to 75, ideally, number of voters in every polling booth. And we've already explained that even from 2015, only 39 million people registered to vote into the only 39 million people actually participated in the voting out of the people that registered to vote, which represented a turnout of 52%. And in 2019, only 33% turned out to actually vote out of the 28 million, where Buhari got 15 million of the vote, just beating Atiku by 4 million. But remember, in 2011, Jonathan actually beat Buhari with 10 votes, beat him with 10 votes. So I can say, based on my political analysis and giving a political prophecy at this moment, that if the South should come together just like the Southern governors have done and agree and vote, they will beat whoever comes or is put forward as a representative from the North. And I know that many of them will not be interested in putting anybody forward. So, like I mentioned earlier, only 24% of the registered voters reside in Northwest Nigeria, which is the home to the whole heartland of Mr. President. But remember, it is not Mr. President that is standing for election anymore. To be somebody else. And there are very few people that command the kind of followership that President Buhari commands in the people. Because when I met him and I told him, sir, you need to take care of this. He said, I met them, I saw them, I met him personally, and I spoke to him, and he said, he knows. Remember, of those youth, between the age of 18 and 35, 51.1% represent the number of the people that are registered valid to vote. So it's going to be a very, very serious election, and we all need to tune in to that election. Let me leave it at this point. If you're watching me right now, like this page, share this page. I hope you enjoyed this program. I hope you liked it, and I hope you will share it widely. And thank you so much for all those people that have said I should not burn my Nigeria passport. But if that guy is able to get the 160 million people that will vote for whoever they are coming up with in the north, then I will burn that passport. But I know that I won't be able to do it, so my passport is still safe. Thank you so much for watching me. My name is Temitope Olodo. I'm a preventive terrorism consultant, author, and president of African Security Forum. And if you want to send me a message, my email is there, rolling through the page, under the page, and you could like this page, you can share this page and tell your friends about it. But let me leave you with this video. It's a counter narrative video which we normally use to end our program, and I hope you would enjoy it and actually like it, because it's important that we do the right things, as a writing space. In this season, we must ensure that we are doing the right thing, because we need to stop all the rhetorics of war and the drums of war that is being played in our country. We need to make sure that this thing does not continue. And all the people that are fanning uh, the amber of war or division, we need to stop them. So watch this music, dance to it, and we'll see you again very soon.
Sahara Productions.
Though they use Allah, what to buy the key people. Allah is great, yo, they keep passing. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, yo, they keep passing. Though they use Allah, what to buy the key people. Allah is great, yo, they keep passing. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, yo, they keep passing. Salam alaikum, alaikum wasalami. Salam alaikum, say na based on we want. But no be Muslim, it's not a Christian. Now we there for Bible, make we kill ourselves. Salam alaikum, alaikum wasalami. Salam alaikum, say na based on we want. But no be Christian, it's not a Muslim. Now we there for Quran, make we bomb ourselves. They come from Shah, they want to with terrorists. Come from Niger, they want to with terrorists. Every day by day, them are bombing our schools, killing our youth. Say we know they happy. Know they use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is great, you know they keep passing. Go around.